It's Flavor Friday again, welcome back. Today I am going to be showing you how to prepare some beef skewers with a spicy satay sauce. I can't wait to show you this. Just a reminder to subscribe to the School of Wok YouTube channel and click that little bell to get notifications every time we've got a great new video out for you. Okay, so this Indonesian, Malaysian style dish has lots of variations to it. The way that I'm going to be showing you today, we are going to start by marinating our beef. So again, you could do these in a few different ways. You could cut them into small cubes and pop them on your skewers. What I'm going to do is use the back blunt edge of my knife to tenderize the beef and then make it into long strips so that I can ribbon it onto, does that make sense? Ribbon it onto our skewers. So back of the knife and just hitting it all the way along, and then the same on the other side. And you can see that it's stretching out. Don't worry about all these pieces coming apart. Don't worry about getting rid of any of that fat. We can use all of that. Okay, so I've got 2 steaks of ribeye here. This would be enough for a generous starter for about 4 people. Remember that all of this meat is going to relax again. So after we've just given it a bit of a beating, we're going to let it relax in its marinade. So I want nice long strips. So I'm going to go crossways now and create long ribbons of beef like this. Any of these bits that have the fat, don't worry, we can put that on the skewer as well. No beef gets left behind. Okay, so our beef has been tenderized and cut into strips. So we need to talk about our marinade. So we're using mainly dry spices. So we've got some turmeric, we've got some coriander powder, we've got some chili powder, some sugar, and that will help to caramelize our beef when we come to cook it. We've got a little bit of salt, and I'm going to be using some lemongrass. Now lemongrass is so fragrant and has a lovely perfume, so I'm going to prepare this and just chop it up and have those flavors going in there as well. So best way to do that is remove the outer layer. And then if you've watched any of our School of Wok YouTube videos before, you'll know that Mr. Jeremy Pang loves bashing things with a cleaver. So go for it. Just remove that end. That's a little bit harder and woodier. And then finely chop your lemongrass. We're not going to put too much in because we don't want any of those really dry end pieces to go in, because they'll just burn and become a little bit unpalatable when we come to cook our beef. So try and get it as fine as possible. I'm going to pop that in. And then we can add in the rest of our spices. So it'll take on a really pretty color with the chili and the turmeric. Nothing terribly overpowering, but then it will also allow us to have that hero satay sauce to dip it into. And just make sure that you get all of those spices on each bit of meat. And then we're going to pop it in the fridge. You could do this the day before, really help those flavors get through, or a couple of hours beforehand is perfect. Okay, they're ready for the fridge. Okay, so now we are going to make our peanut sauce. We have got some fresh ingredients. I've got 2 lemongrass stalks, finely chopped, some ginger, some garlic, and some red onion, finely chopped. You more traditionally would be using some Thai shallots, but a sweet onion will work just as well. If you can get your hands on them, then great. I also have some dry spices. So I've got some chili powder, some coriander, some cumin, and some sugar and some salt. So this is going to be the base of our peanut sauce, and then we can build from there. So I'm going to add all of these ingredients into my mortar and then pound it into a nice smooth paste. Okay, so we are going to start cooking off our spice paste. When you're cooking with any sort of dry spice, you want to cook them off first to get the most bold flavour out of it. Also, you don't want it tasting too raw. We're going to simmer it away for a little while as well, so that will help to create that real creamy texture. So, as you can see, my paste is looking really lovely and well combined now. So, in my wok, I've just popped it onto a medium heat. I'm going to add in about a tablespoon of oil. Make sure you get all of that goodness and gently pop it into your wok. And then using the back of your ladle, you can just kind of squish it down. And it's already starting to bring up all of those beautiful perfumes of that lemongrass. Do make sure that you do not burn it now. You may not have seen how hard I worked on that paste, but I did. And then once it starts to stick to the bottom of the wok, that's a good indication that it's ready to move on to the next step. You're essentially just cooking off all that moisture that's in that paste. Now that that's cooking off nicely, I'm just going to add a little bit of water. Oh, love that sizzly sound. And just start to break it down. You can see it's got that fantastic colour. While that's doing that, I have got about a cup of roasted peanuts, and I've just given them a rough bash in my mortar. So you can break this down really smooth, or you can leave it quite chunky like I have. You can use peanut butter if you haven't got roasted peanuts. You know, go for it. I would recommend taking off the shells because they don't break down quite as well in these sauces. So I'm going to add those in. Okay. Mix them all in together. Okay, I'm going to turn up the heat a bit now and get a bit more of that liquid happening. Pouring my water around the outside, make sure you get all those flavours into the centre. I'm also going to add in some tamarind paste. Now the tamarind paste is going to give it that bite of sour that it really does need. So add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of that. So I'm going to turn that down to a low heat and let that simmer away while we get started on our skewers. We're going to start threading our beef now. So this has been marinating for a good couple of hours now. You can see that it's really nice and relaxed, and it's got all those wonderful spices stuck to it. I've also got some wooden bamboo skewers. These have been soaking in water to stop them from burning when we come to cook. So along the length of our beef, we're going to thread it so in and out of the meat all the way along. So you get a nice flat surface so we're able to well seal each side. Okay, I'm going to get cracking and do the rest. Okay, so our peanut sauce has just thickened up. Look how wonderful and silky and creamy that texture is. It didn't take too long at all. So I can leave that to the side and let it just cool down. Chill out and relax until it's time to have our skewers. Okay, so I'm going to get my griddle pan out and then we're going to cook those skewers. I have a griddle pan that I'm going to turn on to a medium heat. Now I want to get it really nice and hot before I add my meat onto it. If I add it onto it before it's piping hot, there's a good chance that it's just going to leak out all the moisture and then it won't be as tender on the inside. While that's heating up, I've just taken some paper towel and folded it up, and then I'm going to dip it into some vegetable oil, and then I can really coat the top of those indentations all the way over and make sure that I've got a really nice seal on my pan. I can just start to see that heat coming up now, so I am gonna get those skewers straight into that pan. Oh, they look so good. Now just let them do their thing. Try not to fiddle with them too much. You really want to get that nice charring on each side of there. So we're looking for about 2 to 3 minutes each side. Remember, we've cut them quite thin, so we're just looking for them to get that great color, and then we'll flip them over. So that is what we're looking for. Smells so good. It looks amazing. Be very careful. It is hot. And then I'll give them another 2 to 3 minutes on that side. So as they're ready, I'm going to take them out and just leave them to rest. Anytime you're cooking beef, you need to let it relax. If you imagine a nice cold, relaxed piece of beef and then you sear it, it tenses up, and then we need to let it release again so that you get a more tender bite. And I'll just put them here. You don't need to rest them for long. Like I said, we've cut them really nice and thin. It's not going to need too much time, just enough to make them perfectly succulent. Let's plate it up. Oof, they smell so beautiful. Just going to do a couple high, and then I've also just made a really simple salad. So I've got some cucumber, some red onion, a bit of coriander and chili, a bit of lemon juice, salt and pepper. That's it. And that's just going to kind of break through any richness or spiciness in this dish. Oosh. Now that is a scrumptious looking dish. Let's have a try. Beautiful peanut sauce. Mmm. So good. That beef is so perfectly cooked. I feel like I always take a massive bite when I'm trying to tell you how I feel about it. It's yum, spicy, peanut sauce goes great, perfect. I hope you enjoyed our video today. Please have a go. It's super simple. The recipe's in the link below. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd love to have you, and comment below. We just can't wait to hear from you.